participants can get some good information to apply in the clinical practice, and also maybe, who knows, to make more things. We have these goals: develop a better understanding about the potential to work in elderly people with platform tests and exercise to improve the walking safe. Also, point some future research, who knows. I'm here also with this goal. We'll have this summary, a brief background about balance and walking for elderly people. Also to understand what balance is by the PhysioSensing equipment, which has many applications, and the overview, and we'll see the variety and the complexity of the tests in an overview, and also the exercise we have with this kind of equipment. I will present my patient, and also I will have these 4 items, which test and why I use that to improve this problem I have to solve. Also, how to perform with this kind of person who was unmotivated. The results which results I took for my clinical practice, and which results I can use for others' goals or aims. And I will give you also clinical considerations in a brief way. So, balance, what is it? I hope you know by your self-experience, that it is the ability to maintain our body center of mass in our base of support. Also, we know that we have a very complex sensory motor systems to maintain this, and also we know that when some of these systems are injured or have any deficit, we can have our balance with markedly affected, also with a problem. In the elderly people, these problems are always because the sensorial motor, the perception of vision, usually also because the cerebral, we know that the aging gives problems to this part of our cortex. The reticular formation, because the motivation and the retain of information is more difficult, more delayed. Also, the pyramidal system, which are also by the aging being affected. Some problems about the cortical awareness of our position and motion, position of the parts of our body, and of course the control of our posture. And we use also some adaptations and have a different way to have our walking. We know that the PhysioSensing have main application. We, in this case, are using only for physical rehabilitation, but we have more application. And in this case, we also know that we have 12 protocols for balance assessment, and these protocols allow to identification of balance disorders and muscle strength problems in our lower limbs. And also we know that we have 30 exercises to train and improve the balance. But I also say that by my experience that we can update the protocols with dual task, giving a good experience and gently improving the complexity for those patients who can't make the 30 exercise. Okay, we can deal with those exercises they can do and go into the dual task to improve and to challenge our patients. In an overview of variety and complexity of the test, we only want to pay attention to the aging proposal from the PhysioSensing. And as you know, the fall risk is one off with 5 points, so the must recommend it. But I only use this test twice, not too much time, because it depends on the patient. In my case, I didn't only use once, and you will see. Then the total balance pro also as good recommendation, the statical analysis, the sit to stand also, and the rhythmic weight shift transfer. I use that also, and I use the sit to stand. It's very important for my patient, and the body sway has no good recommendation, but I use that also, and I have a goal for that, and I will explain to you. So my clinical case is a woman with 89 years old, and it's a widow and lives with the daughter and have a close family take care of her well-being. She has hobbies like to make tricots every day, loves to make clothes to babies and for her grandchildren, read every day, likes news, and like to discuss that with the doctor. She has these health conditions. She has a cardiac illness, severe aortic stenosis. She has fatigue. She has instability for walking. She had several falls before start treatment, so she has fear of falling. Her mother also died after falling in that house she lives, so these emotions are always present in her instability, and so she has a higher immobility and unmotivated for moving. As an old story, she has a Morton syndrome. She had a Morton syndrome in the left foot 20 years ago. She did the rehabilitation, but she still have restriction for walking by the joint limitation. She also had an accident and the right shoulder and arm. She broke the radio and claviculae, and 15 years ago, did rehabilitation, but still restriction for flexion, for instance, the reach objects. Take more than 6 different medicines, including the Cinmet 3 times a day, because she has a Parkinson syndrome. And she had 2 falls in the last 6 months before the 2021 July, when she comes to me to make the false risk screening. This is the result of that false risk screening. We did the hand grip test, and she has values indicating very bad condition. It should be 22, but she only, even for her age, but she only has 10 in the right, where she had the problem, and 12 in the left. The 5 times sit to stand, she also is very slow, as you see, and she used the hands. She can stand up without the hands. And the global test, you will see what it is done by the PhysioSensing platform. She can't stay any second, so you don't accept that. Also, it's emotional at the same time. Charge on the foot test, only 21% of the balance and the charge maintain. And we expect more than 60 to have strong enough. We have a reference for that. The patients cannot walk. This patient cannot walk without hand support. She uses the furniture or a person. As a green flags, we have a good cognitive function and mini mental scale, very good. Good participation, have good expectation to achieve a good clinical change. She has good confidence in my work. She's followed by a psychiatric doctor, and she has a stable emotional state. Before that assessment, that evaluation, I start the treatment, and we have almost, as you see, 2 years of treatment, once a week only once a week, not more. And at the beginning, more or less 3 months, we only did these first tests, and also a complementary exercise. I will show you what exercises were. So we did the global, the sagittal, anteroposterior tests. We did the sit to stand, and we did the static analysis, the limits of stability, and the circle. Circle is an exercise, is the more easy, and it was very difficult for her. Then we were improving, and we were improving, and we had the rhythmic weight shift, the body sway, and the height in the exercise, the spiral, the root bars, root spiral, and moving root. As we see here in the evaluation of the sagittal plane, we supposed to have the reference is 85% in equilibrium, in balance, and she is almost there, but 84. Then in the anteroposterior plane, she should have 74, but she only has at 52. Also, in the test of sitting position to stand position, we have a waiting time transfer very slow, as you can see. Also, the equipment can give us as you see, this kind of relatory, and so we can have through the colors a easy way to show to the patient, and also to show to the family of the patient. For me, this is important also to make. So the mean of the COP have a velocity good, and but she helps with the hands. We can't forget that. And also the symmetry was very, of course, very bad, because more charge in the right foot. Then also when we analyze the pressure in the platform, we see that we have more load distribution in the right. And when we did the circle at the beginning, we also found a tolerance very smaller, and also a lot of time in the exercise. In the Total Balance Pro, this test is important at the beginning, because it helps us to define what we need to do. And we can see that she has a perception, but then also a postural stability, but then the vestibular was not good, and the motor control a little better, but not so good. And then the reflex also with problems. And we saw also the legs are not good. Then we choose some tests and exercise to improve this walking safety. And we had a complementary home exercise, and you can say to me, oh, but she used other things. Of course, I had to use other things, but it doesn't compromise my work in the platform. And you will see that through the platform, through this assessment, patient got others interests in maintain her performance and in maintain her competency. So we use this planning. She had to make the exercise in self-care. She had to put some weights in the ankles to make the exercise, and also she has to point out on the planning when she makes it to have a commitment with me. In the session, we increase the complexity of the exercise by the dual test, but only after a good period, when I saw that she walks better, and I needed to challenge more and to show to the patient how that equipment can challenge her and can maintain her more interest about her competency. And also using a good competency she had, the cognitive competency in maths, because she's good. We also have evidence that this competency improves the balance performance when we use this in dual test. So we must facilitate the self-confidence through the progressive challenge, but we need to have maximum caution to avoid bad experience. Not too much time. At the beginning, I started with 50 minutes. Now sometimes I do more than 30 or only 30, 28. It depends. It's a recommended time of use of this kind of equipment, because we deal with patient fatigue and also with unbalanced fear. Starting with our hands on the patient body to give confidence, but without interfering with the motor control. because she must develop strategies of balance, and then going to hands near. So my hands now, almost 1 year, I don't touch her. I only stay with my hands near the body, but for her to feel confidence if anything breaks in her balance system. Maintain the patient interest in the new approach and looking for the patient competency. So using other things she suggests also. Doing dual tests to promote the efficiency on balance. I use that through all these kind of exercise. The figure and PATS exercise for me are very interesting for this kind of patient because it's not too much complex. And maybe after this, we always make a stoppage in the August because the holidays of the doctor. But then I will start to use other stimulus and other games. But for this time, through this almost 2 years, I only use those exercise and put that dual test task as an upgrade. How it perform? I proposed for this kind of dual test the counting ability. So she had to count the points who are red and then change to green, and she touched, and during the performance she touched the point and she counts all the points, and then we know that that figure has 24 points for instance, and at the end she has to make the subtraction of her points she got, and look for those points she lost. And by this, she don't feel the effort to make the exercise, and also the attention. As you see, I have here 5 reference where you can read and take some important for your practice with patients idea and reference important to got your goals. But this is it is important that the ability is effective for the patient and is a pleasure for her. I try also to, for instance, to give me a story, to tell me some story, but it's not so effective because she has to go to memory too much, and it is not so good. So but you can experiment other abilities, cognitive abilities, and use those who is better for your patient. So it's important to perform with this kind of person unmotivated, to use the better cognitive function, to give autonomy to decisions made, to have a motivation to improve the ability to performance, and also use the creativity for some games, even in that simple exercise with figures or bars. So as the results we can take them in graphics or can make a report. or a table. It depends of the way of export you make from the system, and you can make only a month or a 6 months, a period of 6 months or 1 year, or even comparing some periods of the year. It's nice to her family, and also for understand the difference. Of course, she knows the difference by the functionality improvement, but these objective results are important to her awareness. So, as you see, for instance, for the global test, we can use what happens, and then we can take, like I said, by the system, the file you prefer. I will usually use more the Excel one. Here also, for the sit to stand, we can use only the value of the first one, or the second, or the third. We choose according with the better competency of our patient, because we want to motivate, or we make a median. We have also here, but it's our responsibility to give to, and of course we have to have a rationale to fund our goal. Here, the body sway, and why I use the body sway now. I use the body sway because it gives me the spectral frequency, and I intend to use a study using the nonlinear statistic approach in the COP ability frequency. So it depends in our goals. We can use also this kind of protocol. The protocol of rhythmic weight shift also is interesting to understand which are the better response of the patient, if it is the slow, the moderate, or the fast, and of course take the variables you are more important to compare during the months or during the 6 months. We can make graphs with that. An example here in the Excel exportation I did for the last five sessions. I did in 1 July, 8 July I only make once. I don't know why, but sometimes happens. Maybe we told, no problem. And then 50 July. And as you see, here it start very bad percentage in balance, the time, balance and time percentage only 26, but after, and we can see also the time I used in this time, this session, I only more or less 20 minutes. Okay, usually I do the global exercise or test in the beginning and in the end. And for me, it's a measure to understand the fatigue of my patient. So in almost 22 minutes, she ends with a very good value at the end. But in 50 July, she starts better, but the time I took a little, maybe more, and she ends worse. It happens sometimes. Usually when I have this kind of decrease, I have a look by the oximetry, I use and I take care and make a rest, and then some exercise, bracing to reset the emotions or the what she feels, and then I stop it, and I don't continue, of course. Now we are looking for a big period, starting here in February 22 and ends in 15 July 23. And as you know, see that point, a green point, we start the dual task in November 22, and dual task give us better outcomes. As you see, the balance time start to have better results after the introduction of the dual task exercise. Here in the circle also we can see less time during the exercise, better tolerance, it grows to 10, and also the limit decrease, so she makes more concentrates in the base support. Here the 8 the same, as very good and better the limits here in the 8. Also the spiral, also time here is better, more quickly the exercise time. The root bars also improve the time, balance time percentage. The root spiral the same. Moving root, it's too much. It's too much exigent to her, and so sometimes I'm introducing that, but slowly, and not every session, twice a month. But we can look also by the system comparing with reference, and we have here a progress report for the Romberg test, and I usually make the Romberg test sometimes, and we can see the improving in the COP also, and here in the ellipse area, and also we can compare the initial with the last session, and we can see the COP better, not here in the displacement, but also the ellipse area, it's a little better. It depends on the time, the kind is more fast or not. And then the median of velocity better also. Here standard deviation not so different, and also the coefficient analysis of the Romberg only increase in these two variables. When we saw the rhythmic weight shift, we can see the velocity a little better, but not so much, only that component. But here, for instance, we saw also not so much is the front back is where she has problems, and left right is better, and we can see here the velocity in left right first with the last. We can see that in the weight part of the graphic it's good. These in front back are more in the blue part of the graphic. Here are the reference for each one. It's not good. Right left directional control is good also, and front back direction control, it depends, not some good here but not here. So in the sitting position we saw the rising index growing better. Also the wait time transfer, but if we compare the first and the last, we can see, okay, good here, not so much in these two they are in the reference, okay, they are, it depends, and the symmetry, okay, is better, but it has to continue working. So clinical considerations, we went to stimulation as a maintenance of control. A patient wants to stimulation as a maintenance of control motor competencies, so she likes to make this. It's agreeable for her, it's pleasure. She feels good with this platform performance. She has more perception of the fall risks, so she accepts better the doctor's supervision for the walking task, because before my intervention, she don't want the doctor, only the furniture. And when she has the doctor, she wants the harm of the doctor, not the supervision of the doctor. You understand? So now she deals with herself to have more supervision from the persons who are with her. She consider and she give me this kind of understanding. She say that the treatment is like a automatism calibration. She understands that through this practice, she understands better where are the body position and stay more confident. She have fun with some games because she participate and choose also sometimes that count as to after the subtraction, she has to join another number. We are okay, we stabilize the rule first, and then we make some difference between the sessions only to challenge her. She can walk without use the hands, but still with supervision, and no more falls after starting the intervention with feedback. For physiotherapists, I think we have to identify the specific nature and or the cause of the problem, accurately measure balance and differentiate the balance deficit, help to evaluate the effectiveness and efficiency of rehabilitation programs to improve self-confidence. Hands-on and hands near, I call like this, during the biofeedback exercise is important to motivate the patient with confidence. And of course, elderly people need to feel support to achieve challenge and overcome yourself. I think that all this is important for us and for this kind of patients. And this is my testimony of my experience, and was my challenge to give to you all this information, and I desire that you make better and use in your clinical practice, and challenge and make challenge to your patients and to yourself. And thank you for watching this presentation, and I'm here to have your questions. And now I pass to Pedro, Engineer Pedro, to